Morning. Please sit down. So, Mr. Arpit, you're already in the IPS. So now you are in the trying for the IAS and the Foreign Service, right? Okay, good. How many times did you appear before you got into the IPS?
Sir, 2 times before getting into IPS, I couldn't clear prelims 2 times.
I see.
Yes, sir.
Chaliye, acha, good.
What was the percentage of marks in the interview last?
Sir, I got 168 out of 275.
160. Very good. So, Arpit, you belong to Shamli. You stay in Shamli. Where do you stay?
Sir, my hometown is in Shamli, but since 2014, primarily I have stayed in Delhi.
Okay. You not worked anywhere, no?
No, sir.
Heard of Roshni Act? Roshni Act.
Yes, sir, I have heard of.
Can you throw some light on what this Roshni Act is about?
Sir, currently I am unable to recall what was it about.
There was this case of marital rape. Some judgments were passed. Are you aware of what is the current latest in that?
Yes, sir. Sir, currently there was a judgment, a split verdict by the High Court, wherein there is a section, High Court of Delhi.
Yeah.
So there was a split judgment regarding removing the exception 2 in the section 376, wherein
5-2.
and yes, sir, regarding regarding removing that exception, where in her husband.
That, of course, is that. What was the rationale for and what was the rationale for against?
Sir, for removing that exception, the rationale was that a woman has right to bodily integrity, and she should have a consent, and there is no difference between.
Is it constitutionally valid, or that was the question?
Yes, sir. So it was deemed to be unconstitutional on on the basis of Articles 14, 19, and 21, and
The other side?
the other side was that it is an intelligible differentia, wherein there can be a difference because of marriage, that it should not be considered rape, so it is constitutional.
Okay, marriage as a sacrament,
Yes, sir.
right? Okay. Have you heard of K.V. Thomas? No. 124 section. What is the latest on that?
Supreme Court has stayed all the proceedings that are currently under Section 124A and the new cases that come up till center clarifies their view regarding they are undergoing a practice wherein they are looking at the validity of Section 124A.
Pending reconsideration?
Yes, sir.
Is there a directive?
Yes, sir. From the Supreme Court, that no new cases should be filed regarding Section 124A, and all the pending cases should be kept at abeyance.
What was the affidavit that Government of India filed? A draft affidavit of the Home Secretary.
Sir, they asked for giving some time to the Center for reconsideration.
Anyway, sir, aapko.
Yes. Arpit, what is discrete mathematics?
Ma'am, discrete is something related to. Ma'am, I can't recall currently.
It's an important basis for computers. No?
Yes, ma'am.
Computer science. All right. Why is the Thomas Cup bringing great cheer to India today? I mean, recently.
Ma'am, there is currently Thomas Cup, Badminton Cup that is undergoing.
Yes. And where have we reached?
Ma'am, last I saw that our women team lost 5-0.
No, but that is not joyful. I said some happiness.
Ma'am, I haven't read about.
What about the men's team? What are they doing?
Ma'am, I am not aware about that.
We are almost getting. I mean, the bronze medal is sure, so it will be a big achievement, isn't it? In Thomas Cup, we've been trying for years.
Thank you, ma'am.
Right. In the World Press Freedom Index, recently it had come out where India was ranking. Do you have an idea? Do you think we would have risen or we would have fallen in World Press freedom?
Ma'am, we have fallen in the ranking.
Yeah, what's our ranking now out of say 180 countries? What's our ranking?
Ma'am, it's low, it's around 150.
Yes, correct. Earlier we were 142. Why this fall in world press freedom? Why have we fallen?
Ma'am, there have been instances of uh, cases against journalists.
Yes, like what kind?
Ma'am, some relates to, uh, there have been cases of sedition sometimes and
Defamation.
and there are instances where even in UP some journalists were stripped in the police station. So these news resulted into falling of the rankings.
Now, India and ASEAN. It is considered one of the corner pieces of our foreign policy, India's relations with ASEAN. Why is it so important, and what do you know about India and ASEAN?
Ma'am, India is working towards Act East policy of ASEAN, and our Indo-Pacific strategy is currently based on ASEAN centrality. So this primarily results in countering China's rise and ensuring that there is rule-based order by increasing our economic interaction and cultural interaction with the ASEAN countries.
And also there are other concerns, no, like drug trafficking,
Yes, ma'am.
human trafficking. What else?
Ma'am,
What else would engage these countries' attention?
ma'am, one is the cultural front because we are related to them culturally.
We have similarities. Yeah.
Second is regarding investments. We can look towards FDI from the ASEAN countries where Singapore is a
Major hub.
for FDI destination.
I was thinking of some concerns which bother all the countries.
Ma'am, it is China.
That you mentioned,
Yes, ma'am.
radicalization, terrorism, right?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Now, in the recent times, two airlines in India are undergoing major developments. What are these airlines? What developments?
Ma'am, one is Air India.
Yes, what happened?
Ma'am, it was privatized. Now Tata overtook over Air India, and all their subsidiary arms, they are trying to relocate their all offices into one. Ma'am, second is regarding Jet Airways. It was grounded due to financial conditions. It recently undertook a flight.
What is it called? Such a flight which is taken after an airline has been grounded for a long time. What is the name of that flight?
Ma'am, I am not
Proving flight.
proving.
So what does it mean? Proving flight? Why did they have to do a proving flight? From the very word, what did they have to prove?
Ma'am, it might be related to safety.
Airworthiness, that they can get the air, license to do operations. With Tata's, there was some other significant headline today.
Ma'am, I haven't read the newspaper. Yes, ma'am.
Didn't they try to appoint a CEO a couple of months ago? They named the person as the CEO, but that went. Why? Who did they name?
Ma'am, I can't recall correct.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
The Newton's law of motion, they become invalid in two situations. Just elaborate.
Sir, when we go at the atomic and subatomic level, that is the domain of quantum mechanics. So there they become
Invalid, yeah. And, or let me put it this way, special theory of relativity founded by Einstein in 1905. How does it affect the Newton's law of motion and later on general theory?
Sir, in theory of relativity, there is change between mass and energy. So that results into non-applicability of Newton's law.
There is a change in mass and energy. Why should it be Why should it make the Newton's law of motion inapplicable? In fact, it results into making it applicable in many situations.
Sir,
What are the postulates of special theory of relativity?
sir, as per theory of relativity, it is E is equal to mc square.
No, you are getting into the wrong chapter. Special theory of relativity.
So I think I need to read more about it.
Okay. You see, Newton's law says that acceleration is directly proportional to the force applied,
Yes, sir.
isn't it? But as you approach the light's velocity, it becomes slow actually. It's not directly proportional, but it gets slow. And general theory of relativity also affects the applicability of it.
Okay.
Now, that you will read and tell me about the black holes then. Because you have written mathematics and computing science as your subject in IIT.
Black holes is when a region is so dense that light is unable to escape that region. So that is a black hole.
And how it is produced? You're right. How it is produced?
Sir, one way can be collapse of a star.
How? Yeah, please continue. Sorry.
Sir, it collapses into a very small volume, so density increases. So it results into formation of black hole.
Sure, but why it collapses? That is the question. That explains the formation of the black hole.
Sir, it might be related to something related to gravity. The gravity increases as mass comes together, and it leads to a vicious cycle.
You have to understand this.
Okay, sir.
How sun, a star of ours, maintains equilibrium. There is a gravity,
Yes,
there
sir.
is a huge body, and there is an internal force, centrifugal and centripetal, equal. Where how the centrifugal force created, centrifugal force created. What is that process which creates it? When that stops, it is created no more and the elements exhaust. Then the gravity takes over. So what is that?
Sir, it might be related to nuclear fission.
Nuclear fusion. Fusion.
Fusion.
Not fission.
Okay, sir.
Fusion.
Okay.
You have to clarify.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
What is how do you find the application of differential calculus in our day-to-day life?
Sir, it is primarily related to rate of change. So whenever we see any rate of change which is happening in our day-to-day life, the basic instrument that we use is the speedometer of the car that we have. Secondly, in management of our finances, we can use.
In everything there is, inflation, this and that. What was the controversy between Newton and Leibniz when the differential calculus was discussed?
Sir, I am not aware about.
Leibniz was a German and Newton was a Britisher. There was some controversy happened.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you, sir.
You've heard about Human Development Index.
Yes, sir.
How is India faring over the years in the Committee of Nations?
Sir, India ranked in the last year 129 in the HDI index. So our performance is not up to the mark. We need to improve all the parameters, be it education, health, or standard of living.
So, how is it that Bangladesh has been able to improve its position with India, whereas at one point of time Bangladesh was considered to be a failed state?
So primarily the per capita income in Bangladesh has increased in the recent times, which is driven by textile sector of the Bangladesh country. So this has led to improvement.
That is one reason. Other reasons are also there.
Sir, it might be related to education and health since that is a parameter.
Their education standards, the basics are better,
Yes, sir.
and the poorest of the poor are less. India still is rated to be a country which is home to the world's largest poorest population.
Yes, sir.
So now, in all these things, whenever these reports come, there is a dispute in the media. How correct these statistics are, or is it being bandied about to defame India, whereas India is doing well. Now, where do you think the truth lies? Is it to improve the performance, or is it to say that the messenger is wrong, that they are quoting wrong figures for ulterior motives?
Sir, I think the prime objective should be to improve the parameters.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. I think that is the question that I was looking for. Now, you are already in the Indian Police Service, which is an all India service, and you are aspiring for something higher, and we wish you good luck.
Thank
Having
you, sir.
said that, there is a lot of what you call debate going on as to whether what ails the civil services. Have the civil services kept pace with the times? Since when it was started, let us say, the precursor, the Indian Civil Service, Indian Police, and then post-independence Sardar Patel, and 2022 that you are in. So, do you think something else is required, or we ourselves, being civil servants, like persons like you, we are, of course, most of us are retired, so would be in a, what change is required in this kind of a scenario? In a few sentences.
So we have to change on both fronts. One is that in the past 2 to 3 decades, there have been a fast-paced change as far as technology is concerned, and the way rights of the citizens have been seen, be it sustainable development, climate change, or more technology-intensive administration. So we have to keep pace as the private sector is performing. So one aspect is that, and secondly, it is about the civil servants also. I think apart from the right aptitude, there is a need of right attitude and proper ethics in civil servants, so that when they work in that aspect, they itself will work towards towards getting those parameters of digitization, uh, sustainable development, inclusivity.
And also, I think the question of transparency is also there. A much higher degree of transparency is required in everything, which can be shown to everybody that this is how we have arrived at the calculation. One small question, what, according to you, is the future of the United Nations organization?
Sir, I think in the future there will be reforms in the United Nations, primarily related to the UN Security Council, and I think its role will increase, given that globalization is the new reality, and new fronts are opening. Be it space, there is now talks of cyber warfare, space warfare, where there is a need of organization like UN. And secondly, the world is unequal. When we see at Africa, there are very less developed countries. So there, United Nations has a role to play. And in general, though it was unable to stop the Russia-Ukraine conflict, I still believe that it has relevance, because it is the only forum where all nations can interact with one vote each.
But all are not equal in the United
Yes,
Nations.
sir, definitely.
That is another question. Last one point, parting. That is, how would you like to define a forest? What is a forest?
Sir, one way to define it can be tree canopy, the density of trees in a forest. Second way can be the presence of wildlife and biodiversity.
Look at the Godavarman judgment and study it. It is one single kind of a tree. Any cluster of trees is a forest. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Arpit,
Yes, sir.
when during the presidency of Donald Trump, he had tried to bring about certain changes in the Middle East. and Abraham Accords were signed during that time.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me what these Abraham Accords, what was the significance of these?
Sir, Abraham Accords was primarily to bridge the gap between Arab nations and Israel.
Okay.
So this was inherently done to reduce the conflicts in the Middle East, because that is one of the prime conflict. And this has this will help Arab nations to diversify their economic portfolio, where they are primarily dependent.
So basically, number of these Arab nations for the first time decided to recognize Israel, right, and establish diplomatic relations.
Yes,
there.
sir.
So which were these countries? Any idea?
So UAE was one.
Yeah.
I can't recall another country.
Bahrain, UAE, Bahrain, and then subsequently Sudan and Morocco.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
4 countries which joined, right? Now tell me, the US role in Afghanistan, at one point of time, the US was supporting the Taliban, providing them weapons and all through the Pak ISI. And at another stage, they were fighting the Taliban. How did this happen?
Sir, this primarily dates back to 1989, when Russia was invading Afghanistan. To stop their rise, the USA start pumping money into the Afghanistan so that Mujahideens can fight Russia back.
Okay.
But as soon as they left, there was threat from the Taliban itself, given the rights violation and undemocratic rule. So from then and later on, after the 9/11 attacks, the US increased its offensive against the Taliban.
Why did it do that? What was the reason? After the 9/11, what was the reason which prompted the US to send troops into Afghanistan?
Sir, it was spillover of terrorism, since
So which group?
Al-Qaeda, sir.
Al-Qaeda. But why did they attack the Taliban? Taliban was in power. Why attack the Taliban?
Sir, because of the undemocratic rule, and generally there was strong nexus.
Rule to baat ki cheez hai. It was because they were supporting the Al-Qaeda.
Yes, sir, nexus between.
Basically it was that. That
Yes,
is
sir.
how they landed into that.
Yes, sir.
Achha, chaliye. Okay. Now tell me, the Supreme Court had come out with certain guidelines. If a political party fielded a candidate who had a criminal background. What was that decision of the Supreme Court?
Sir, if every candidate who is having criminal antecedents, his criminal record should be published on the website of the party, and it should be also given in a local vernacular language newspaper.
And also to explain why they chose a person with a criminal background.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
To
no?
give the reasons and why a non-criminal
Correct.
background was not.
Now, similarly, there was this problem that when a government changed in the state, they would withdraw cases pending against their MPs and MLAs. On that also the Supreme Court said something.
Sir, I can't recall the exact judgment.
Achha, chaliye. Okay. So we end your mock interview. I'll give you feedback. So Arpit, you've got what? 5 days?
Yes, sir.
5 days. So we will give you an advice which you can try to cope within the next 5 days. देखिए ऐसा है, first of all, you will be given a copy of this interview, electronic form में. To go through that, see what were the questions which are asked and where you did not have complete information. Try to brush up on that area. ठीक है? The second area, of course, is that your DAF. So questions can come to you from mathematics, from computing and mathematics. You are asked several questions.
Yes, sir.
So if you see that interview and brush up those areas, that is an important area. Then of course, you play 2 games, squash and badminton. So both these things, within the country, what are the major events? Internationally, what are the major events? And then of course you mentioned listening to Shairi. So which particular singer do you prefer?
Yes, sir.
And why, basically. They can also ask you who are the other well-known persons who shairs.
Yes, sir.
So just brush up on that, okay? Now, current affairs is the other area in which you must brush up. So the only thing is that read a newspaper very, very carefully.
Yes, sir.
A lot of things are happening every day. You know, the Supreme Courts are coming, entering into various areas. You have issues in UP. You know, this Gyanvapi mosque issue is now, usse pehle wo Gorakhnath temple had been attacked by a chemical engineer from IIT Bombay. Police have said that he has ISIS links. What is ISIS? Background thoda sa uske bare mein. How does it radicalize people on the internet? You know, these are the kind of things. Kashmir mein kya ho raha hai na? Our relations with Pakistan, with China. There are various areas in which, and of course, since you opted the foreign service internationally, what is happening, particularly, you know, the Ukraine war.
Yes, sir.
You know, what is the future of that? How do you see it developing? ये सब चीज़ें जो है, to read a newspaper very, very carefully.
Yes,
ठीक
sir.
है? एक बस चीज़ I want to mention to you, you know, you have this tendency of when you are answering on that side, you keep on shifting your gaze to this side also. Is that on purpose or?
So this is what has been taught.
No, that is wrong.
I don't want to do this, but
No, it is wrong.
Yes, sir.
You see, this is a formal interview.
yes, sir.
This is not a presentation which you are making in the IIT, where you are supposed to look at this. है ना? This is a very formal interview. All the members of the board are judging you.
Yes, sir.
Please maintain eye contact with the member of the board who is asking you the question. This is absolutely,
Thank you, sir.
absolutely wrong. Okay?
I was
Baaki,
also.
Calder already?
No, sir. Cadre have not been allowed.
Just one point I wanted to mention, though not asked over here. Have a little glimpse of the Puranas, the Bhagavad Gita, and little bit about our scriptures. You should have Ved. You should have a little knowledge of that, because nowadays a lot of questions are being asked on that.
अब वो 5 days में आप जो भी कर सकते हैं.
Ask your parents also. Thoda. Okay.
Sir, can
हाँ,
I ask one
बताइए.
question?
हाँ.
See, sir, there are certain issues like sir asked about relativity theory. So what happens is that I have read about that, but I can't recall right now.
So just say so. Okay, sir, sorry, I am not able to recall.
Recall.
So that is the standard thing, because as you would have had seen, your interview time in the UPSC is limited.
Yes, sir.
So why should you waste your time in trying to sort of say something which you are not familiar with?
Negative marking होती है.
उसमें यह है कि आप साफ कह दीजिए, भाई देखिए, you are not expected to know everything. हो ही नहीं सकता कभी. तो if you don't know something, you say sorry sir, I am not aware. So they'll ask you something else. खत्म बात. ठीक है? Right.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, all the best. All the best. Good luck.
Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update.